y'all. Happy Saturday again. Today, the thing I have chosen to talk about is I like watching these shows that talk about things that from like a long time ago, from 100, 200 years ago, when maybe they didn't know as much as we do now about certain things, and the odd and strange ways that the folks were becoming very ill or dying or maimed in some way, shape, or form because of there being, arsenic in the wallpaper and stuff like that. And this particular instance is about a guy by the name of Ebenezer Byers. He was born in 1880. He was a socialite, an athlete, and an industrialist. He won the Amateur Golf Championship in 1906, and on March 31st of 1932, at the age of 51, he died from multiple radiation-induced cancers after consuming massive amounts of this product called radithor. Radithor is like a patent medicine. It was one of these like snake oil salesman kind of things, where most stuff didn't actually have any sort of real redeeming medical value. They might frequently have a lot of alcohol in it. They might have morphine in it, things like that. Things that maybe might have made you forget about whatever was going on, but it didn't generally tend to help what was going on. But this radithor was just watered down radium, is what it was. And he consumed massive amounts of it. It's reportedly about 1,400 doses of radithor over the period of time he was taking it. He believed by placebo effect that it made him feel better. And that's what frequently, more often than not, what most people, when they assumed they were feeling better, was just, it wasn't because the medicine was helping them. It was because of a placebo effect. And oddly enough, their advertising slogan was "A cure for the living dead," which is an interesting slogan considering what it ultimately did to this gentleman in particular in just the course of a few years. He did stop taking it in October of 1930, and the medicine I keep calling it a medicine. It wasn't really a medicine so much as it was something that was developed by a snake oil salesman, let's call it, was developed and released in 1918, and was just, like I said, radium dissolved in water, and was developed by a gentleman by the name of William J.A. Bailey. He said he was a doctor, but actually he dropped out of Harvard Medical School. He wasn't actually a doctor. And he said that he claimed that this radithor stimulated the endocrine system. And this gentleman Bailey made a lot of money from radithor. And he would give kickbacks to people that would help him sell this to customers, unknowing people. Initially, Byers started taking it for a pinched nerve in his shoulder. He was on a train, he fell in his cabin, hurt his shoulder, and ended up with a pinched nerve that caused him great deals of pain. Now, this was at a time when, they would have had things that they could have given for pain and so on at the time, but what they would have had would not have quite been the same sort of medical equivalent of what things you would have today at your disposal to help you take care of things, or help for chronic pain and stuff like that. And he was told just to take a very small amount, like a small teaspoon kind of amount, spoonful, and which started off well and good, and it worked so good, that small amount, he thought, well, if a little works good, more will work better. So it didn't take long before he got up to a bottle a day. I mean, it didn't take long at all. He's taking a bottle of this stuff a day, Within weeks, he was up to 2 bottles a day. After a year, he was up to 3 bottles a day. By 1931, now remember, he started this in 1927, and by 1931, he was taking, he had been taking radithor in copious amounts. Like I said, an estimated like 1,400 doses of this over this time. A lot, and it's radium, okay, that he's taking. And that he basically, it disintegrated his system from the inside out. And one day, just kind of out of nowhere, his jaw just fell down. Okay, it had disintegrated things so much, and that was just what you could see from the outside. I mean, there's everything that was just destroyed from the inside too. Well, as it would happen, because the radium destroyed so much of his system, his nerves were also destroyed as well. So, at least, even though he's got this useless jaw now, the radium had also affected his nerves to such an extent that he didn't really feel any pain. So I guess, I mean, if we can look at that as an unfortunate positive side effect. I mean, not even really positive. I mean, that's a horrible side effect. But I mean, at least it would have made it. You would have been in a more tolerable, I guess, maybe circumstance without having to deal with the pain from the nerves, from the nerve damage. Now, there were medics that at this time when this happened that had, in an attempt to, they got as much of the skin and things, what had been corroded that they could get to off and removed, and over the course of several surgeries were able to make his jaw and face look not as bad. I mean, it was still a very obvious thing to behold at this point, because the again, this is in 1930s. Okay, they would have again not had, they would have had quite a bit at their disposal, but again, not quite what they would have today. Maybe not the same techniques and so on. So he did look. There was still a very obvious look to his face, even after they went into the surgery. The doctor, or the quack doctor, the fake doctor, his business eventually was shut down. He did try to start reselling this under a different name. In 1965, Ebenezer Byers' body was exhumed, and they actually, did some tests and stuff on him, and he was still extraordinarily radioactive even over 30 years after this happened. I'll have some pictures interspersed through the video. There's one video that's one picture that's attributed to being Ebenezer Byers, but it's reportedly not him. But I'll add some pictures that are reported to have been him also. So it's a very grotesque and unfortunate thing. So I won't add too many, just one or two. That's it. But thank you for coming by. Thank you for listening to me again today. Hopefully I'll have another video up here probably, I'm hoping by less than a week. I'm trying to get on the schedule, trying to get things more on a timeline. So again, thanks for stopping by today. Thanks for listening to me. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a great weekend.